How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, we know that old crooked face Huckabee is all about that life. She has no problem thugging out for her boss. She has no problem tucking her tail, ducking and dodging core ass truth. Oh yeah, she all about that life. So I was gathering up some information yesterday, and I said, let me put this off for a day. Maybe something will trickle in. You know what? They delivered. And I'll point that out as we go along. So this article that I found, it says Sarah Sanders hide from press so long her lectern literally collects dust. Now, I had never heard of a word lectern. I said, well, I gotta find out what that is before I proceed on. And a lectern is nothing more than another name for a podium. That's it, and that's all. Y'all see the definition up here? You see the image is here, and they call it a lectern opposed to a podium. Learn something new today. Well, anyway, as we continue on, I have this article and 2 videos I want to share with the royal family. So, technically today will be the 69th day. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders has neglected her duties for so long that the lectern from where she's supposed to deliver daily press briefings is gathering dust, literally. It's been 67 days since Sanders held her last briefing. Okay, I can skip on with that. Trying to lead me somewhere else. Since then, a ton has happened that the White House should have to answer questions about, including the release of special counsel Robert Mueller's bombshell report, Trump's reckless trade war, and ratchet up rhetoric on an actual war with Iran, among other things. Since March 11th briefing, Sanders admitted that she willfully lied from the press room, and an admission even she couldn't spin in her favor. She also attempted to purge the briefing room of reporters she don't like, yet another cowardly move to avoid doing her job and answering tough questions. To be fair, Sanders did have one briefing, but it was a fake one for children of the press corps. She even attempted to make it off the record. It appears Sanders was too afraid to answer truthfully about her favorite color and favorite dinosaurs. Let's see. Reporters on Friday noticed the gathering dust that the staffer had came in to wipe the lectern down. Still, there was no sign that Sanders had any intentions of facing the press, answering questions, shirking a major duty she's compensated to do by the American taxpayers. I looked up what she get a year. She gets $180,000 a year. Rather than tough questions from the entire press corps, Sanders has instead hidden from the lectern, offered up interviews to Fox, the friendly cable network that shrills of Trump and Republicans. So, this first video, it was did a few weeks back, but I felt it was necessary to hear this, to bring the royal family to the present.
Day, and we'll continue to do that every day I'm in this position.
So here's our colleague, Nicole Wallace, who was communications director for the George W. Bush White House, reacting yesterday to Sanders.
2 sources told me this week that the reason that Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I watched the briefing today, and it was actually a tragedy. It wasn't even a comedy anymore. She took to the briefing. It wasn't funny. She took to the briefing, and that room, you can tell when you've lost the room, and she lost the room today. Yeah. Today, the room wanted to know why she comes out there and spews BS every day? Why does she lie to them every day? And I don't know what their recourse is, but I think they're done reporting on what comes out of that podium, because she's now been a proven liar, proven by her boss. But one of the explanations I heard was that when she goes to the president and asks him about Stormy Daniels, he has 3 versions of the truth about Stormy Daniels in his own mind, and it's like a buffet. Whichever version he pulls out and hands out is what she gets, and that's what she has to serve in the briefing room.
Nicole Wallace, as you know, served as communications director in the Bush White House and would have some insight as to how to do the job. The editorial board of the Wall Street Journal.
Okay. Now, they chopped it up like that, don't know why, but now it gives the fuller picture of what else is going to be added.
Come null and void.
Well, and that's the challenge for her right now, and for our country, frankly, because let's not forget, she's not just there speaking on behalf of the president. She is speaking to the country from the White House. She is telling the public lies when she goes out there. She's not just lying to the press corps. We know Donald Trump has no problem telling lies to the press corps, but she's lying to the American public, and I think she needs to own that. Anyone, whether it be her or anyone that goes out there, because unfortunately, whoever is going to be at that podium is going to be in the same exact position as Sarah Sanders. There's no way to get beyond that. And it is just so disturbing. I've been someone, I've stood up for clients before. I've had to deal with certain uncomfortable things, but being ignorant or lying about it is just not an excuse.
What, is no comment a better option?
Well, I think not having these, why not have the briefings? If you're just going to lie, why bother?
Coming up on Morning Joe, breaking news on the economic front.
All right. So, what a difference a day make. I said I would wait. And lo and behold, we got a little bit more. So, we'll just jump into this. And it's just briefly saying that Sanders Huckabee hasn't held a briefing in 69 days. Okay, we'll just go from here.
Now, someone has come in and dusted the podium, but the briefing room still isn't getting any use. This is an unprecedented drought. 69 days, more than 2 months since Sarah Sanders last held an official press briefing. Sometimes she does answer a few questions outside the White House after a hit on Fox, but she has stopped doing what used to be a big part of the press secretary's job. Here with me now is a press secretary from the Clinton White House, now the host of the Words Matter podcast, Joe Lockhart. Joe, I think our viewers might be thinking, but Sarah Sanders just lies anyway. What's the point of a briefing?
Well, even if she just lies, she will lie on camera and she will lie on tape, and you'll have it for history and posterity. But also the questions matter. The White House has been able to through canceling the briefings, just slide by on a lot of things. For instance, the president tweeted this morning about the Republican congressman who basically called for his impeachment,
Justin Amash, yeah.
saying if he read the report, he'd know this. Well, no one's asked the president's press secretary if the president's read the report and whether and been able to go into questions. Well, what does he think about page 123? So the questions do matter, and it does matter. I think in a much broader sense, the briefing was a way for the public to stay engaged with the White House. It was a way for the people to, if they wanted to, tune in every day and say, the White House has an answer for not just what the president's doing, but what the entire administration is doing. And the rest of the administration is getting away with a lot of stuff that doesn't get surfaced because the briefings don't happen any longer.
And other parts of the government are becoming less accessible as well. The Pentagon has not had a spokesperson stand at the podium and answer questions in nearly a year. We did see KISS frontman Gene Simmons standing at the podium, though, the other day, taking pictures.
That's the end of that, my royal family. So, let me get back over here. And basically, my theory, I think, is going to be proven. And this is what I've been thinking about. Okay, we're coming up on a very, very big, pivotal election season. And a lot of people have thrown their hat in the arena. And they coming for Trump's neck. And Trump is a habitual, to the far extreme, liar I ever encountered in my life. And the demonic energy in the White House and those people in his tight circle, she's in his inner tight circle, and she has made whatever excuse she could make up in her psyche that what she's doing, she's not lying. And the reason why I'm emphasizing the lying part is because you know who her father is. He's supposed to be an unquote pastor, and her father give off very negative, nasty vibes. I knew when she got this job, I said she will have this job, and because white women is about that life, you know. We see who's getting the wrath as I speak, and so it's really a disgrace. And I remember this, you know, she got a cockiness about her. Now, this is how she was looking during her, yeah, I like that far shot, that little fucked up mug. You can't dress that shit at all. Ain't nothing you can do. Everything about her mug is fucked up. Anyhow, I had to throw that in. But anyhow, she's a disgrace, you know, and it shocked the shit out of her. And she had to go on her tour, and I remember this face, this dress, and you can't mistake the fucked up ass mug. It's just nothing you can do with some shit. You know, I don't care, you know, really. I could talk all day about that. But the other thing is we the taxpayers, see, they forget who they work for. We the taxpayers is paying this bitch not to do nothing because she can't handle no tough questions. So they keep her in the press just enough to think people dumb enough to know they ain't did a briefing in 69 days. Go figure. And so the other thing, because I lost my train of thought going in, that during this election season, and when they start having those debates, I'm getting back on point, excuse me, that Trump ain't going to be able to debate with nobody. He not going to be able to handle nobody because of his record alone since he's been in the White House and the numerous fuck-ups and lies and how he greasy his and staff get down and stuff. And they got tons of stuff on Twitter that they can use against him. So what he gonna do is the wiggle up out of it is basically say fake news. See, fake news poster, that's a broad stroke. That's supposed, and I agree with him on a lot of this fake news shit. That's why many of us in the royal family are rendering our voices in many ways. You don't have to be the voice. I'm one of the many. So let's keep that in our frontal lobe. When those debates go down, is Trump going to be able to handle it? Are they thinking ahead of how to even get out of that? Or is there so much shit going on they may have forgotten? Maybe they'll catch him on a couple of rounds and then he gonna, go to the press and say how unfairly he's treated in fake news and I meant this opposed to that. So forgive me, my royal family, when I was running my mouth and just went to the ladder. But I did get it out. You know what I'm saying? That's when I'm going dyslexic on y'all and everything. But that's basically all I have to add, my royal family. So render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.